Okay. All good on the theory stuff. We're going to start working with seventh chords next. But first, let's talk the rhythm. So it started off well, and then you had that little cut. It looks like you had to continue the practice or continue the video after something. And after that, that's when the rhythm started to change a little bit. So, again, it started off really well. You had that right. Even though 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 4. I'm going to put this at 100. That's about the speed things were kind of getting off. So at 100, we'd have 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, and 4, right? But the rhythm you changed it into, I'm going to leave this down here so you can see it. I don't want you to play it after all this because we're doing a redo this week. But this is the rhythm you ended up playing. You're going 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. Notice what my right hand's doing? You see how it's slowing down there? And that's what you were doing too. You were just going up, down at the end. You're supposed to go up, miss it twice, and then down. So I think what happened was, because you stopped doing those ghost drums, then you started spacing out this incorrect. Because this needs to happen immediately after that downbeat. So technically you were doing an upstroke, which is what we want, but you were taking too long to get there. And because you just did an upstroke, well, then you didn't do any of the ghost drums to get down to this. So instead of having this be 3/16 notes long, it was 2. And you made that 4/16 notes long. So slowly, this is what you were doing. And 4. That's what you turned it into. And it needs to be... So go up in 2s for this one, okay? Go up in 2s to redo this one. Keep those ghost drums in 100% of the time. If that means you don't get too fast, that's okay. Don't need to be fast. We just want accuracy. All right, palm mute stuff sounding better. Definitely sounded more palm muted this time around, so happy about that. Let's try this one for this week. Trying to move this here. Come on now. There we go. All right. So 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Done. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yeah, 7th chords. Okay. So I'm going to send something over. Hold on. It's going to be this. Just an explanation on 7th chords. I'm going to talk about, what we're going to do. So the main thing is we're going to focus on right now. There's the major 7, dominant 7, usually written as just 7. The minor 7, and the minor 7 flat 5. You'll also see it written as half diminished or half diminished 7. I like putting it as minor 7 flat 5 because that ties in with a bunch of other weird chords we're going to do eventually. And then there's some other 7th chord combinations written down here. So good to keep that handy for reference. All right, so I'm going to do the first key here, and then we got 3 other keys for you to fill in. And we have the mode information over each bar, so you can see, what's available for each chord. All right. So we're starting with putting in just your basic, regular old chord, and we're going to change it. So, starting with the open C major chord, because we're in the key of C. How do we know it's the key of C? Because we have no sharps and no flats over here. All right, so got your C. So what we're going to do is we need to look for, well, what we try and do anyway, is look for an octave of the root note within the chord shape, and then lower that either a half step or a whole step. So if it's a 7, also known as a major 7th interval, we go down a half step from the root note, the octave of the root note. If it's a flat 7, also known as a minor 7th, then we go down a whole step from the octave of the root note. So, just put this back over here. We can see right here that it's a 7, so that's a half step down. So we're going to take this octave of the root note, right there, the C note on the B string, and lower it down a half step, which gives us C major 7. So when you have the root, so the 1, 3, and 5, your major chord, plus a 7, that's a major 7. So 1, 3, 5, 7 is major 7. All right, so next, we got your D minor. So, octave of the root note is here on the B string. So, we have a flat 7. We can see that right here. So we go down a whole step. So we go from this D down to C. And that gives us a D minor 7. D minor 7. So you have the minor triad, the 1, flat 3, and 5, plus a flat 7 gives you a minor 7. 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. All right, whoops. Oh, I see what I did. All right, so E minor is next. So again, we look for an octave of the root note within the chord shape. So we got that right here. And we see it's a flat 7. We're in the Phrygian mode, so we got to lower that down a whole step, which gives us E minor 7. Next, we have the F major. So, take that, look for an octave of the root note. Going to be on the D string there. And we lower that down a half step to make it an F major 7. And again, we can see what intervals are being used in all the mode information up top above the bar. All right, so chord number 5 is a G major. Now we could start with this chord. Oops. Because I like that shape. Whenever I play a G, it's typically that. And if we do that, looking for the octave of the root note, that's going to be on the high E string. So chord number 5 here, we see that we have a major chord plus a flat 7. This is your dominant 7, also known as a G7. So we could hold it like that. That's kind of a pain in the butt. So what I like to do is change this version of a G chord instead to that. Much easier to play. So when you have a flat 7 added to a major chord, it is a dominant 7th. All right, so next, chord number 6, we got A minor. So once again, we look for an octave of the root note within the chord shape, which is right there, and we lower it down a whole step because we're adding in the flat 7 to get A minor 7. Oops, I didn't change it, did I? I did it on the guitar, but not the tab. Okay, and then last, chord number 7, we have the B diminished. So, flat 7 is being used, so the octave of the root notes is right there. Got to lower it down a whole step to get that. And this is the B minor 7, flat 5. Now on Guitar Pro, it's going to show up like that. So that means half diminished. As I was taught, it's supposed to put a 7 afterwards. I guess people will just call it half diminished to imply that it's a half diminished 7. So if we have half diminished 7, I think it should really say that. So the half diminished thing will pop up automatically in Guitar Pro. For some reason, it just does not bring up minor 7 flat 5 anywhere, but that's what it is. Minor 7 flat 5. So I think that about does it. So yeah, what you're going to do here for the other keys, you're going to put in the triad chord, so just your basic open chord or movable chord shape, bar chord, and then look for an octave of the root note within the chord and lower that down to the 7 or flat 7. All right, that's that. Any questions, let me know, and I'll see you again in your new videos.